it's easy to see. You are that someone I've been trying to meet.
Good day. Here is the continuation of the part 2 of the new curriculum professional education review. Okay. So to start, here's the ICT process in instructional materials. There must be a design, development, to utilize, and the fourth is evaluation. So diagrams. Diagram is just a part of the whole picture. Okay. The iconic experience. If we see iconic experience, it's the experience that's, for example, we watch tutorials or videos or educational videos. Okay. The variety. If we see variety in the use of ICT, there's a lot of variety to use to teach the students or to tools to use in computers. Okay. For the students to learn and for to get the attentions of the students, you can make designs with the use of the ICT tools. Okay. Here is the diorama. If we say it's diorama, it's miniature like society or things that you can use in teaching students. Okay. The operant conditioning. The operant conditioning here in the ICT is to teach the student how to open the computer for them to use or for them to use it in a online class. Okay, they'll be able to open a computer on their own. Okay. The role play, it's like attitudinal change of behavior for the students. Okay, so they're conducting a role play activity. The RA 10627 of 2013 is Anti-Bullying Act. We are not just experience bullying in the first personal or in our environment, but also in the social medias that we use nowadays. Okay, the copyright infringement is that when you use a source, you have to acknowledge the author. You have to mention the name of the author and the year it was created. Okay, the MTB and the MLE, the mother tongue base, is since kinder is part of the K-12 basic education K-12 curriculum, the use of mother tongue based instruction is at kinder and up to grade 1, while the MLE is for grade 2 to grade 3. Ito yung pinapahalalan na sa kanila ang wikang Tagalog and English, and while the for the grade 4 to 6, kung ano yung basic instruction, kung ano yung instruction for that subject yung ginagamit, it's either English or Filipino. Okay. The ICT, when the use of ICT, the teacher, there must be a pedagogy. She know how to teach the ICT. The social interactions, it may be used in online class, and the use of technology. Okay, the use of cell phones for the students. Okay, the idea lesson exemplar format. There's a lot of examples you can get into the web. You can just make it as a format, and you have to just change the activities. Okay. The controlled inquiry is that you give them the resources. You gave them the resources into the internet, and you assign them to study that lesson, and by the next meeting you will tackle it, so the students will be prepared for the next lesson. Okay. The guided inquiry is that you make a problem to the students, and the students will find any other source. Okay, or the students can create their own design for this one. And the pre-inquiry is that you have asked them to find for example, like this editorial topics into the internet. The students maybe choose what issue he or she may want to present. Okay, that is pre-inquiry. Okay, the pillars of ASEAN community are the AEC, ASEAN Economic Community. The main cause or the main is the resource market blueprint. The APSC, ASEAN Political Security Community, is to live with harmony and stability. The ASCC, ASEAN Social Cultural Community, caring and sharing society. Economic and technical functions. You know, the schools have functions and our economic. So they build as students to be prepared after the K-12. Okay, they can partners with the economy like of TESDA. Okay, so latent function is hidden. This function is hidden because from the teaching. Okay, the student may have a change of behaviors, and it is helpful in the community or in economy. Okay, the coercion means that this is a strict implementation or strict policy for the students to behave. Okay, formal organization. If we see a formal organization, these are the peoples, 2 or 3 peoples that make a group together to form organization. Informal organization is what are their relation with each other when they create an organization? Are they friends? Are they neighbors? Are they cousins? Are they members of the families? Okay, the wheel network is there's only a one driver or isa lang ang pinagagalingan ng issue or memorandum. Okay, or sabihin natin isa lang ang pinagagalingan ng information. Okay, the chain network is that the information was given to the offices, sabihin natin, the manager of the offices, and siya na bahala mag-distribute ng information. The circle network is that they call all the members of the organization and share the information. Ang free flow network naman, ito yung parang nakapublic yung so I try to look at the camera so that para isipin yung hindi ko na lang ito binabasa, kundi medyo natatandaan ko na rin upon reviewing. I have already read it maybe 2 to 3 times, so I'm just make a video and for others to use it for review also. Okay, I wish it was helpful. I may not delivered it the meaning all well, but at least if somebody wants to watch it, okay, it's free. Okay, here is the free flow network. It is a public information. So there's a lot of free flow network into the internet for to encourage more members. That is a free flow network. The inverted communication is that from the president to the directors to the managers, nabibasing information. Okay, The group ideology, if you say ideology, is that meron tayong ideal na behavior na susundin or na i-maintain, okay? Group cohesion is to just ibubukod mo yung maganda sa pangit na mga behavior. So meron tayong acceptable and non-acceptable behavior, the do's and don'ts. Okay, the trauma model is parang a threat, yung panakot, okay? The positive reinforcement model is that you gave certificates or commendation for the members that, have participated well and have an impact in the organization, okay? The referent power in the teaching is that the referent power or the teacher is the parents at the school or at second parent at the school or at the classroom. So the referent power here in the organization is that all the members have respect like parents to them, or they gain more respect from other members, okay? That is the referent power. Ingression is it's a negative, it has a negative meaning. For example, or negative or positive, to cover your identity, you use your members, to cover your identity, you use your members, okay? Okay, ingression used to cover your, it's not to cover the identity, but ingression is that you are powerful, okay? You are known, and then you are known, so kung inuutusan mo yung ibang tao para sa gawain mo, okay? Kasi makapangyarihan ka, sinusunod ka. So, imbis na ikaw na gumawa, dahil nga naman ikaw yung boss, makapangyarihan ka, iuutos mo na lang sa iyong mga members or sa iyong assistant, okay? Or not assistant, or mas mababa pang posisyon. Kasi, parang siya eh. Ibang sa mababang posisyon kasi parang hindi naman siya, it's like unprofessional, okay? The fundamental beliefs, assumption is that lahat ng estudyante magtatagumpay balang araw. Tangible evidence, ito ay hindi na naalis physical attribute of behavior of the students. The physical attribute of the behavior of the students. Like for example, physical, pagmana ng estudyante, pagkuha ng yung mga gamit. Kung pag madaming training teacher, kinukuha ng mga estudyante yung gamit, okay? Para dalhin sa classroom, okay? That is a tangible evidence. Collegiality, this is the good interpersonal communication with your other coworkers. Transformational leadership is you transform the members. Educational leadership is you educate. People leadership, or to lead the people. 7 domains of PPST. Number 1 is content, knowledge, and pedagogy. Number 2 is the learning environment. Number 3 is the diversity of learners. Number 4 is the assessment and planning. Number 4 is the curriculum and planning. Number 5 is the assessment and reporting. Number 6 is the community linkages. And number 7 is personal and professional growth of the teacher, okay? There is 4 stages of the being a teacher. Here are, number 1, the beginning teacher. Okay, the beginning teacher are expected from for 2 to 3 years na magiging proficient siya. So the beginning teacher are the novice teacher. Ito yung mga, there's low experience in teaching. Dito, in the beginning teacher, every week, they are monitored by their, monitor sila nito mga proficient teacher na kung about lesson planning, okay, and other learning or other materials they have, okay? Chine-check sila nito mga proficient teacher. So, expected for the beginning teacher na after 2 to 3 years, magiging proficient teacher na siya. So, highly proficient teachers. So, the beginning teacher stage 1. The stage 2 is the proficient teacher. The stage 3 is the highly proficient teacher. And the last is the distinguished teacher, okay? So, ano pagkakaiba nitong proficient? Ang proficient, sinabi ko na after 2 to 3 years, naging proficient ka na. Ang highly proficient naman, so ang proficient and highly proficient teachers are less supervision. Tapos ang mga distinguished teachers naman, ito yung madami na experience about sa teaching at saka matataas na kanilang position, okay? Or kaya nakakuha na sila ng mga recognition sa schools. Highly recognition or paulit-ulit na, or madami ng recognition sa school. So here's the instructional leadership, instructional specialist ang tawag sa kanila. Teacher leader model standards. O ito yung mga teacher leader model standards, mga administrative position ng mga teachers, like for example of principals, okay, and mga subject, for example of the subject head teachers, okay. The childhood, if we say childhood, kabilang ito yung puberty stage, kaya meron tayong childhood friends, di ba? Puberty and saka infancy, okay. Robert Habig-Hertz tong developmental task, learning to take solid foods, learning to take control, acquiring a masculine or feminine social role. So babyhood, ito yung critical period. Bakit sinabing critical period ang babyhood? Kasi sa babyhood kasi, dinidiscover nila yung kanilang mga senses, okay? Pero pag dito na tayo sa adjusting to decreasing physical strength, when we get older, we get mature, kumukunti na yung ating physical strengths, okay? Unlike nung mga bata pa tayo na talagang malilikot tayo, or ang dami nating energy, pero pag tumanda na tayo, konti na lang ating energy. Nanatili tayong umupo, manood ng TV, or mag-cellphone, pag inuutusan, hindi na gaano pag inuutusan, parang tinatamad na, okay? The theory of freedom, it's like an independent learning by Montessori, okay? Reflex, this is the sudden movement of the baby, okay? There is a sucking reflex, thumb suck, rooting reflex, finding the, looking for the nipples of their mom to get milk. Moro or start reflex is hearing a loud sound, okay? There is may movement sila pag nakakarinig sila ng malakas na tunog, okay? There's also a head turning reflex and tonic neck reflex neck. Okay, plasticity. The means of plasticity is that we change our behavior because of what we learn in the environment. The pruning is the information processing. Okay, stimulus bilingualism. Simultaneous bilingualism is the use of two language, Filipino and English. There is a sequential bilingualism is that we learn the second language to the first language that we use. We learn or we create a word from the first language we used. Okay, that is the sequential bilingualism. Okay, apasya o apnea, ito yung nakalimutan mo na kung anong language mo. Sabihin na natin meron kang ethnicity language na ginagamit, pero pag ang nangyari sa'yo, disgrasya ka o nagkaroon ka ng, for example, like that, nakalimutan mo na yung mother tongue mo, okay? For example, it's just an example. So, hindi naman sa nangyari to, pero for example, ako, Bicolano ako, tapos kung ano nangyari, di ba? Kung nagkaroon amnesia, ayokong amnesia. That's for an example, pero I pray na huwag kang mag-amnesia, okay? Nalilimutan mo kung magsalita ng Bicol, o malalaman mo na lang yung Filipino at yung English, okay? That is apnea or apasya, okay? And, the primary circular reaction is the development of the child's habit. The animism is for example, in like what the previous what shared into the internet, like in Cocomelon, you can see that let's change the example. For example, to teach attitudinal to the baby, we show them they watch videos that the dog is speaking, tatlong bibe. That is the example. Centration, focus on one subject, just like a concentration and disregard the others. That is centration. Concentration, you concentrate. Centration, there's another subject, but you just focus on the one and disregard the others. That is centration. The seriation is the child knows how to organize a particular or a toys or in order, like for example, colors, sizes, and the use. Okay. The MKO is more knowledgeable others. Who are the more knowledgeable others? They are the adults. Okay. So I don't need to to make more meaning of this, but more knowledgeable others are older to us. Okay, they are older. The sequences of information divided by these three: the sensory register, it was register in our mind, the short-term memory, and the long-term memory. Okay, paano pumapasok sa isip natin? Okay, meron namang matagal na pero naalala pa natin, at meron din namang ang mga madaling mawala sa isip natin. At ito naman sensory register, ito yung pagpasok pa lang ng mga information or experience. Okay, continue. The constructive alignment is that the activity is right and desirable in the learning outcomes for the student. Showcase portfolio is to show the highest achievement of the students. Is to showcase, okay? The rubrics had two major parts: the coherent sets of criteria, strict sets of criteria, okay? And number two, description of levels of performance, okay? Of course, in the level of performance, there's a changes because the level of performance happens in air, or it happens in actual time, okay? Or real time. Okay, so kung energetic ka, ay mataas ang performance mo, mas mataas din yung grades mo kukuha mo, okay? The analytic rubrics is to one by one, evaluating one by one. That's the analytics. While in the holistics, overall. Okay, overall evaluation. Okay, TOS is the table of specification, is to guide for giving a test. Okay, standard deviation is used to measure a set of scores. Okay, we can find the mode, the mean, and the median. Okay, that is the standard deviation. Okay, scores may not be so varied, outliers. SD, standard deviation 0, scores are the same. Okay, walang pagkakaiba. Standard deviation, walang pagkakaiba, 0. Okay, they all the same. Norm reference group one versus their classmate, okay, his or her classmate. While the criterion reference is that there is a criteria that follows, okay, she or he got a 90%, for example. Okay, contextualized assessment, construction functioning knowledge, okay, the contextualized assessment out of real life, declarative knowledge. Assessment reliable, okay, the assessment is reliable if the scores are consistent. Okay, how will you find if the assessment is reliable? Okay, you see in the test, the assessment is reliable if the scores are not changing, okay, or it is consistent. OBL, clarification of learning outcomes. Okay, McTides and Wiggins, the proponents, or let's say like that, lowest level of understanding, providing explanation. Lowest level of understanding, providing explanations. Okay, the product-based assessment. Produkto ng assessment, okay, creation of PowerPoint presentation. That is an example of product-based assessment, okay? Kasi, product-based assessment. You assess, and there's a product, okay? It's a PowerPoint presentation. Grasp is goal. Grasps, mnemonic grasps stand for G for goal, R, role, A, audience, S, situation, P, product, S, standards, and C, criteria. So, okay, let's continue. Okay, general rubrics, test, specific rubrics. Okay, product-based assessment is a kind of PowerPoint presentation. The holistic rubric is, we said that holistic is one. Okay, access learners and activity-based standard test. Performance student assess depend on the criteria. Holistic rubric. Analytic rubrics is the criterion test. If asking how is the performance, that is analytic rubrics, while the holistic rubrics is studying all. General rubrics used to access general tasks. Task specific rubrics, there is just a task that skills to a given problem, like solving trapezoid. That is a task specific rubrics. Rating scale, may rates na pinapalo. Holistic rubric, okay, overall rating of the student. Okay, the rubrics, checklist, and rating scale may rate the quality of the product. Cannot measure performance or exact performance. Okay, okay. Okay, the rubrics is that there is a quality. There is a quality. Okay, the checklist ay chine-check mo kung na-achieve ba nila. Rating scale ay hanggang dito lang yung rating scale. Wala nang bababa, wala namang sobrang taas dyan, walang lalagpas dyan. Yan ang rating scale, okay? The classes of evidence in a portfolio, there is the artifacts, or artifacts are mga lumang papel na may quiz, okay? The reproduction, outside of the school activity, that is a reproduction. Attestation, approved by a teacher. And productions, how did they come up to the portfolio, okay? The learning outcomes and purpose of the portfolio is the selection of what to include in portfolio. E-portfolio is an electronic portfolio. Ito yung mga compilation ng mga compilation siya ng mga activity na ginawa sa computer, okay? Or any kind, like even like tablet. School, social constructivism portfolio. Social constructivism portfolio is e-portfolio. So social, it is socially used nowadays. Constructivism, it is new, and portfolio, e-portfolio, that's called e-portfolio. Types of e-portfolio is the school-centered e-portfolio, okay, school-centered. 2, learner-centered. 3, assessment e-portfolio. 4, career e-portfolio. Okay, showcase portfolio is to showcase yung achievements of your students. Solve skills, OJT and interpersonal students, teacher, and office mates, okay. Self skills, okay, that is OJTs. Assessing learning in effective domain is teacher observation. Sige nga, observe daw yung mga estudyante mo kung mabait man yan, or ano ba, mabait, or natututo sa mga moral lesson na tinuturo mo sa mga, okay. 2, student self-report, okay. Student self-report is ano ang tingin sa kanila ng ibang mga teacher, okay, or ang kanilang reflection paper, kung ano mga nakasulat nila, kung ang attitude nila ay maganda, okay. Number 3 is peer ratings, okay, ano yung pakikipag-ugnayan nila sa kanilang classmate, okay ba, ganyan, yan kung paano ina-assess ang affective domains, okay, the 3 domains of the education, okay. So the semantic differential is reaction of students to concept bipolar scale. For the purpose of grades is to administrative. It isn't as administrative. It's a part of the job. Number 2, informational to inform you, the parents. Number 3, motivational for them to motivate. That they can get higher grades if they will study, or if they'll will put more effort in studying. And 4, guidance. Okay, since you know the grades of your student, you can guide them. You can there's a guidance of what subject they have difficulty. Okay.